Welcome, I'm Louise Newman, Managing Director of WellBeing.Direct. In this webinar, I will cover general information to help your good well-being, assisting you to cope with anxieties about returning and continuing to work. I'll give suggestions on what you can do, how to get support, and how to keep continuity of good well-being in the workplace and at home. Thinking about going back to your job after a period out of the workplace can feel overwhelming. You may be worried about what colleagues will think, what your workload will be, and keeping on top of it, and the thought of whether you'll be able to cope. For some, returning to work is a big milestone and can be an anxious time. It's important to think about how you can manage your mental health as you return to work. Things to keep in mind is support in returning to work, preparing for your return to work, and staying well in work when you return. In this webinar, I'll cover these 6 steps to assist you with your well-being at work. Preparation, support, communication and routine, well-being plan, review and tools. Our working lives were changed enormously when lockdown started. As lockdown eases, our working lives will change again. Returning to work brings a degree of concern and uncertainty. We're all thinking about potential safety risks, as well as the need to earn money, concerns around the economy, and how we continue to provide services and products. This is a challenging time for all of us, and whether we're at work or not, many employers still provide support. You may be excited or you may be upset about having to return. You may have other concerns around using public transport, social distancing in the workplace, and the use of technology. Facing your anxieties and frustrations and knowing how to cope will help you through these difficult and changing times. After a long absence from work, getting back into routines, working hours and deadlines will all take some time. Equally, if you're starting your first job, you'll have similar commitments to get used to. Your manager will have information on mental health challenges and will be able to support you in your return to work. Preparation is key. Ensure you make time to review and have everything you need in place. This leaves time for any unexpected circumstances. A good way to start thinking about work is prior to returning. You can start to reconnect with colleagues, whether that's social distance meetings or virtually via web meetings. Before you return, these are some practical things to do to making it easier. Have open conversations and share how you're feeling with colleagues and friends. Keeping in touch is so much easier now. Using tools such as WhatsApp or social media are good ways of communicating if you don't feel ready to see them face to face. It's also useful to keep up to date with work practices. Ask to be added to staff newsletters and mailing lists. It's also good to schedule a pre-back to work visit. Arrange with your manager to go back into the workplace or have a virtual meeting before you return. That allows you to say hello to colleagues and get familiarised. Focus on sleeping well. In the time leading up to your return, try to go to sleep and wake up around the same hours as if you were going to work. This helps you readjust to your working hours. If you've been on sickness leave, you may also want to visit your GP, discuss with the company occupational health professional, or consider Fit for Work, the government scheme. Support is everywhere. Just make sure you take it up. Working is good for well-being, providing an income source, a purpose and identity, contact with others, routine and structure, and giving goals, ambitions, opportunities and ways to achieve and contribute. But of course it can also be stressful. Recognising this and knowing what's stressful, working on coping techniques, looking after your physical health and knowing who and what support is available assists greatly in alleviating these feelings and making it easier to return and continue working. Balancing your time, asking for help, rewarding your own achievements, and having a realistic outlook on workload and time constraints will all help. You still need to maintain a good work-life balance. If you don't feel supported, make sure you communicate this to your manager or the HR team. By developing good relationships with your colleagues really helps to make sure you feel supported. Employers want to ensure you're healthy and will have support schemes for you. Make use of any support you can from your employer. Areas to discuss are how many hours you can work, when you can work them, where you work from, and who you work with. For example, that could be on your own or with other people. You can also discuss the type of schedule that you're comfortable with. That could be flexible working hours, part-time, shift, casual, remote or home working, or self-employed. So consider this as part of your support frame. Think about the gradual return to work. Request to work gradually, so from the start, phase in, and then gradually build up your hours. Schedule your workload when it has to be complete, and look at your first week right the way through to your 6th week to make sure you know what you've got to do and you can plan that in. Arrange to meet a known colleague or your manager on the first day. Also, organise regular one-to-ones with your manager. Regular catch-ups with your manager to talk about how you're getting on. Let them know what you're finding helpful or difficult. And if you're not able to cope, if you need to change in your tasks, or you need to just let off steam or talk over concerns, then it's good to talk over these with your management. Your company may also have an employee assistance programme, an EAP, as well as other support options. Communication and routine are essential to relieving anxiety and stress. If your job involves home and remote working, the use of technology may be daunting. However, tools have become much easier and simplified, which help to adjust to this way of working. Ask for help from your IT department or from colleagues. You'll be given equipment provided by work, and most web meetings can be held on mobile or tablet. Online training is readily available, as well as online help on anything IT related, which will also assist you to work remotely. Working remotely can be challenging and isolating. Staying focused and keeping our attention on work can be difficult. Also, you may miss your colleagues and the workplace environment. Communicating and collaborating with colleagues, friends and family can bring a sense of involvement and support in itself. Always feel that you can talk through any concerns or anxieties you may have. Structuring your day and remote workplace can help. The following can be referred to whether in the workplace or working at home or remotely. A designated place to sit and work, free from distractions as possible. Schedule your working hours around regular breaks or have a lunch break, and set a daily finish time to turn off and return to your home environment. Getting up and ready as you would do for a workplace assists in the routine. Pyjamas should be kept to bedtime only. Create a task planner. You can set these daily, weekly, monthly for major tasks you want to complete by a deadline. Also, make sure you take breaks, have exercise and get fresh air. Don't let this slip. Enjoy a proper lunch break, maybe eat away from your work area. Take a walk outside to get some natural light and some exercise within social distance guidelines. In your diary, block out time to clearly state when you're working or when you're available. At the end of the working day, pack away your work things or close the door to your work area. If you have homeschooling or childcare commitments, make your manager aware so that expectations can be set, and ensure you can pay attention to work and home obligations as needed. And of course, use the support that's available. That could be from your manager, an EAP scheme, self-care techniques, mindfulness practice, and help in the community. Creating a wellbeing plan will give support in your return and something to refer to as you continue to work. This is a life cycle, and this plan will change, so continue to review and amend it. It assists on knowing what may cause and trigger stress. It can be used as a base to assist managers to help you so they can understand and better support your well-being. This is an example well-being plan. Some of the questions that you can ask yourself are: what helps your well-being to stay mentally healthy at work? For example, taking regular breaks. Secondly, what can your manager or service do to support you staying healthy at work? For example, regular discussions and one-to-ones. 3, are there any situations at work that can trigger poor mental health for you? This could be conflict. 4, what do you usually do that helps you manage stress? So, for example, you might want to take regular exercise. And the 5th question to ask yourself is: what steps can you take if you start to feel unwell at work? And the major answer to this is make sure that you ask for support. You also need to let your manager know how they can support you, even without having to ask. So here, what are your early warning signs that you may show when you start to feel stressed and unwell? What support can be put in place to minimise the triggers and manage the symptoms? Finally, what guidance can you offer to your manager, colleagues, friends and family in order for them to know what to do if early warning signs are noticed? Work, like many things, will continually change, whether it's a change in role, responsibilities, colleagues or schedules. Taking a moment to review your current situation and making sure you're happy with it will give you a feeling of reassurance. If you're not happy, then it gives you a chance to discuss, find the support you need and make a change to ensure it does make you happy and you continue to have good well-being. Regularly review your work structure, pressures and concerns on a monthly or quarterly basis, or when there's been a change in your work or life circumstance. If you have questions, note them down and discuss with your manager, colleagues, friends and family. There's a wealth of information and help readily available. This is in your workplace, online or in your community. There are many support tools available, both internal to your work environment and externally. For example, WellBeing.Direct provide a wellbeing tool for businesses so employers can easily learn and resolve employee concerns. To find out more about tools that are available, ask your manager or research on the internet. For example, the WellBeing.Direct tool. It's quick, easy and engaging for you as an employee to track how you're feeling, raise concerns, give suggestions or ask for assistance. Your company may also have an employee assistance program, a first aid support or a buddy system. There are also free online assistance services. For example, mind.org.uk and mentalhealth.org.uk, as well as many more. Wellbeing is every day, and these are key to have good health as you return and continue to work. Be prepared as best possible. Make sure you know all of the support avenues available. Communication, collaboration and routine are essential. Create, complete and constantly review your wellbeing plan. It may trigger thoughts that you can then act on to ensure you continue to have good wellbeing. Review your work environment, practices and support avenues on a regular basis. Make use of available support programs and tools. Ensure you regularly take a moment to check on your health. Never feel alone. Help and assistance is everywhere. I hope this has been of help to you and your well-being when returning to work and continuing to work in future. Please feel free to get in touch if you're interested in our WellBeing.Direct services. Thanks for your time and for listening. Keep well and stay safe.